G'day ladies and gents, welcome to Xrissart. In this painting demonstration tutorial, I will be painting a bird of paradise. The art supplies I use are PanPastels, Pastel Pencils on Pastelmat, Anthracite and bristle brushes. I'm also using masking film by Xrissart and use a sharp, very sharp X-Acto knife to cut the film. The blade has to be extremely sharp. I can't stress that enough to avoid applying heavy pressure on the surface. Sometimes when people see me doing this for the first time, they cringe, and I tell you, if I was seeing this for the first time, I would cringe also. I'm cutting this in sections as to make it less overwhelming when I'm cutting. The reason why I'm applying masking film is to make it easy during the painting process, and I don't have to worry about halos around my subject. The bird of paradise plants grow so readily here, it would be a miss if I didn't paint this beautiful flower with all of those vibrant colours. So first, with the painting process, I paint in the background with a very big makeup bristle brush. This process is very messy, so keep that in mind, as pan pastels are low dust when using soft tools and sponges. Every artist is different and we have different ways in which we paint. So the point of this exercise is to get you to focus on the technique rather than the subject until you feel confident to paint more complex projects. Well, there is a technique with this method. I mean, it's not hard. It's all about getting used to the way or this way of painting. Think of it this way. Just another technique that you can draw out of your bag of little tricks when you need it. Remember, there's no right or wrong way of painting so long as it's archival and that you can achieve the outcome that you're going for. These brushes are terrific for painting in soft backgrounds. As you can see, I pick up the pigment and apply gentle strokes on the surface and keep on building. This process is much slower than using soft tool and sponges. You could ask, then why don't you use soft tools? Well, of course, I use the soft tools and sponges, but I find in some subjects the bristle brushes give me more precision and control. I use various size bristle brushes, some angular, some flat, round, some teeny tiny brushes. It all depends what is needed at the time when I'm painting. I just wanted to pause for a moment and mention that if you want to view the real-time version of this video, I invite you to become a patron and view this on my Patreon channel, where I go into depth and detail in many cases about my thought process and how I develop my blending and mixing techniques. The link is in the description box below. So if you're painting with pan pastels and you've been painting with wet media, then this technique is an easy transition, only you don't have to wait for it to dry. Blending on the surface is easy with this brush technique, only be careful not to create mud. And remember, the first few layers will be blotchy, so just keep on adding layers. You may ask, how many layers can I apply on this surface? Well, on Pastelmat, a heap. But there will come a time where you see the pastel move on this surface, and that's the indicator when you know you've almost reached the limit. Once I've applied as much pastel as I think is necessary, I then go in with pastel pencils to give some pop to the subject. The trick for the pastel pencil to glide over the pastel surface is to apply light pan pastel layers. The core of some pastel pencils is harder than others, so keep that in mind when using the pencils over the pastel layers. I hope this has been a little helpful. I invite you to share this video, subscribe if you would like to see more videos as I upload them. My name is Chrissy. Thanks for watching and keep on keeping on.